Hello everyone and welcome back to the Reddit Nights channel. My name is Anthony and today I'll be reading a story regarding an OP who discovers a truth about his wife that he wasn't expecting to find out and the fallback that occurs. If you could do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video, and also watch other videos from my channel, it actually helps the algorithm recognize my channel and recommend my content to more people, which of course helps me out in the future. And also helps me become a better content creator for you. But enough of that standard YouTube jargon that everyone has to say in order to help promote their channels. Let's get to the story. And this story is from the Best of Redditor Updates. And the story is called My 28M Wife 26F got tested for STDs the same afternoon that she returned from an 8-week-long business trip. Used a solo shopping trip to conceal the appointment. That is a tough title already. And it was uploaded on Monday, March the 5th, 2018. Throwaway for reasons. My wife is a great person, and we have always gotten along. We have been married for almost 2 years, and we've been together for 4.5 years. We're in a monogamous relationship, and we have both had several partners prior to our relationship. Every year, my wife goes on a long business trip, typically about 2 months. During this time, communication over phone and email can be difficult, contingent upon the technological issues where she works. She enjoys her work during the business trips, and usually comes home feeling fulfilled and excited about life. Normally when she comes home, she takes a day or two to rest and overcome the jet lag, 28-hour travel time, and 21-hour time difference. The following days, we tend to spend lots of time together, sex, dates, cuddling, catching up, etc., because she's been gone so long. This year she came home as her same excited self after having a great trip. In fact, she seemed so excited that she wanted to work on some projects but would need to go get some material from the store. About 3 hours after picking her up from the airport, she says she wants to go shopping for her craft project and that she will likely spend several hours out shopping. She really emphasizes how much time she'll need to go shopping. Many hours. I think this is a little weird considering that she just came back from a 28-hour flight, hasn't slept, and she's usually not the type to spend more than an hour or two shopping. But whatever, it's fine. About 5 hours later, she comes home with a single bag of craft material. I register this as strange, but don't really think about it. I chalk it up to taking a lot of time to pick out her materials, carefully selecting them instead of bulk buying. Over the next few days, she didn't really go through the jet lag phase and stayed distant. I thought that was weird, but ended up giving her space and just focused on school. About 2 weeks post-return, we still haven't had sex, despite my advances and lightly prodding the issue. Getting I'm just feeling off and I don't feel like it. I find that strange, since she is usually a 3 to 4 times a week kind of person, and we've been exploring some new kinks prior to her trip, which we had talked about kindling once she returned. The first few times she doesn't reciprocate sexy time advances, I don't think anything of it. We've always had a very open no policy, and are attentive to one another's needs, i.e. time, tired, not feeling it, need it now. After 2 weeks, the combination of her distance and no sex feels really off. Over the weekend, she went and met up with her girlfriends for a day out. During that time, I snooped on her computer. If that bothers you, stop reading now. I'm gonna keep reading. I mean, I'm already this far into the story. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep reading. We have always been extremely open with our phones and social media. We both know our phone passwords, computer passwords, she knows my Facebook, etc. While she was out with her friends, I lived on her computer. She left her work and personal email, Reddit, and Facebook open/logged in. So I looked. Nothing out of the ordinary. I looked in the recycle bin and found that she had taken some self-nudes with her phone, sent them to her email, downloaded, then deleted them, hence the recycling bin. I thought that was odd. Normally we would send nudes to each other, not put them on our computers. Maybe she really liked them. She did look hot, and decided to keep them. This has my gears turning, because she has been really disinterested in sex since returning, but is taking selfies in a nude wearing lingerie? I looked at the metadata on the picture, confirmed it was taken recently, and that it was downloaded from Gmail. I went and looked at her Gmail. Nothing terribly odd here, but anything before 3 days after returning home had been deleted from her inbox. Then deleted from the trash folder /not archived, e.g. if she came home on the 1st, everything before the 4th was deleted. However, in her trash bin was a confirmation of appointment for a health clinic in an adjacent city. It had a link with her user ID to log into the patient portal if you needed to change your appointment. I logged in with the ID and her common passwords, which I already knew from us sharing. The portal is mostly empty, but showed that she had scheduled and kept an appointment the same afternoon she got home from her trip. The portal allows you to request records from visits, so I did. They were delivered to the portal about 30 minutes later. She had gone in for STD testing 5 hours after coming home from an 8-week business trip. To summarize, 1. Gets tested for STDs while saying she is going shopping the day she returns from an 8-week business trip. 2. Concealed the fact that she was tested, didn't leave phone number or address at clinic, careful to delete emails pertaining to the clinic, made cover excuse to go out. 3. Super distant with me, very engaging towards her friends and coworkers / no sex. 4. Says not interested in sex, but dresses up to take nudes / clearly masturbating. Found lots of porn open on her computer, vibrator out, not anything odd. We watch porn together and alone, and we're open about masturbation, etc. 5. On a similar business trip, she did almost the exact same thing. Got tested as soon as she got home, which was a 7-week trip. Refrained from sex for about a week / distant. I found out via similar ways, shared computers, saw an email from health clinics about results on portal. Previously, when I asked her about it, she said she had a UTI and went in for a full STD panel. Totally plausible. I let it go. I just feel like there's a pattern here. Also said that STD test was normal for women during checkups, although most clinics say that you must ask for the test / reasonable suspicion. 6. No real reason to suspect cheating, but goddamn, this feels weird. All the elements of possibility are there, I suppose. Possible explanations. 1. She had another health problem that seemed to resolve itself. Maybe she wanted more follow-up and didn't want to belabor me with the details. Although the other health issue isn't urogenital related, she didn't receive any tests that would aim to diagnose the concomitant issue. First time I've seen that word. 2. Health information will be weird if someone reading over your shoulder sees an email in your personal inbox from a clinic, so you delete it. I'm not sure this explains why our inbox was clean / stuff deleted from the trash. 3. Maybe she feels a little detached from me after being away for so long and needs some more time to warm back up. Number 4. Could have also had another UTI and got STD panel at the request of practitioner. Although no antibiotics and treatments were administered during the visit / weren't documented. Number 5. Maybe she thought I was cheating and got tested. Although 8 weeks later seems a little outside the incubation period. The secrecy of the whole thing really bothers me. Any ideas on how to approach this topic with my wife or other possible explanations? Update 1. Oh. Update 1. Admitted to cheating on her trip. Says only once. Evidence suggests it was at least greater than 2. Update 2. 3 confirmed in one trip. Digging in now. Update 3. Typical, it was a one-time thing responses. It was your fault responses. Confirmed at least 3 dudes during her last trip. Likely systemic serial cheaters since we've been together. Refuses to admit anything outside this business trip even though she had carbon copy behavior 2 years ago. Refuses to be honest. Claims she wasn't going to meet anyone on her current solo camping trip. I know otherwise. Keep catching her in lies. Filing papers, meow? I'm filing papers, meow. Alright. Update 4. It's at least 4 now. 1 on her first trip 2 years ago, hence the STD test then. Mutual friend knew about it, kept it secret. This is days / a week after we got engaged. TLDR. Significant other secretly got tested for STDs the day she returned from a long business trip. Is clean, but concealed the appointment and intentionally hid / deleted any evidence of testing. Significant other has been disinterested in any sexual contact for 2 weeks since her return. I found out about the test, but haven't spoken to her about it. What is the best way to broach this topic? Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is some devious work. That is outrageous. The one time you leave for a trip, you just go and just have a whole bunch of extra relationship curricular activities? How is that fair to OP? If you're not satisfied in the relationship, just tell your partner. Don't go around and cheat and cheat with a whole bunch of people and try to secretly get a STD test. This just seems like a whole bunch of extra work and unnecessary heartbreak. If you didn't like the way your partner engages in that activity, please be vocal. Communicate. Talk to your partner. Tell them how you feel so they have the chance to adjust and understand how you feel and try to make you feel better about it. Going behind somebody's back is never the answer. It's never the answer. I don't understand why this always happens. Why there are always stories like this of people just betraying the trust of those they say that they love, only to just do a whole bunch of backhanded, devious work. I hope OP does file papers. I really do. I hope that OP is wise enough to stand, well, not wise enough, but strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet and say, you know what? I deserve better than this. I deserve better than to be cheated on by the love of my life. As a matter of fact, to anyone that's hearing this, you deserve better than being cheated on. You are a fantastic person and you deserve to have somebody who treats you with the respect that you deserve. Getting cheated on is absolutely painful. You don't deserve that pain. You don't deserve the stress that comes with somebody that wants to try and manipulate you like that. The minute you find out somebody is cheating, you need to leave. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to your dignity. You owe that to your mental. Sorry, I went off on a tangent, but there are some updates to this story. And the first one says, my 28M wife, 26F, had several extramarital partners, and we are getting divorced. Just need to vent a little. And this was posted on Friday, April 27th, 2018. Hey folks, I'm at D-Day plus 55, and I wanted to share a little bit of my story and just talk it out. It gets a bit lonely at night, and that's when my gears start cranking without the noise of the day to keep up distractions. So writing it out and clearing the air is perhaps cathartic. Wife and I have been married for 1.5 years, together for 4.5. We are both graduate students. I'm working towards my master's/PhD in genetics, and she's working towards her PhD in microbiology. No kids, few assets, not much debt. Here's the backstory if you'd like more information. TLDR, backstory, significant other secretly got tested for STDs the day she returned from a long business trip. I found out, confronted her, significant other admitted to sleeping with 3 people on the trip and 1 person 2 years ago. And OP drops a link towards the first post. Luckily, we study at different schools. I'm on the West Coast, where she was residing with me and working remotely, and she studies at my undergraduate institution in another state. When I found out and confronted her, she was on her way back to her school to do lab work and have committee meetings, so our communications were largely conducted via text messaging and email. She was too much of a coward to speak to me on the phone. I suppose the discovery of infidelity in one's relationship is shocking and painful and begins to pave an arduous road towards the penultimate reconciliation or the perishing of community property. In my case, it's been the latter. It's not the sex that bothers me. I can understand those inclinations. I'm a biologist. Attraction, emotional investment, feeling wanted, the taboo of risk, adrenaline, those things make sense to me. What I cannot understand is how my wife, someone I adore and respect immensely, could lie to her affair partners about who and what I am. It's like her inner monologue flowed freely to them. Her true thoughts about me expressed vocally that made me physically sick. I'm not a bad guy. I've always been there for my wife. We jived on every level, from toilet paper orientation to politics, humor, hobbies, and sex. It just doesn't make sense. During a post-mortem, I've often come to the realization that as a partner on a two-way street, I could have always done more or achieved a stronger marriage. That's the sentimental part of my brain saying, look at all these missed opportunities for communication and growth. If you had really loved your wife, you would have figured it out and met her needs. That's a deadly game of roulette to play. The retrospective what if on infinite regression plays discordantly upon the soul. If the discovery of infidelity wasn't shocking enough, I also asked my wife to reconcile. She denied. I gave her a list of demands with 7 items. The header reads, the ground rules. If you choose not to comply, or I suspect you have failed to comply with these rules, I will divorce you. Here's the abridged version of what I asked for. Number 1, you will allow me unfettered access to your phones, accounts, devices, and computers at any time without hesitation. Number 2, you will forfeit and show me all communications and materials of all extramarital relations that you've engaged in, no matter how minor or how insignificant you feel they were. Number 3, you will allow me to professionally recover data from your phone and other devices. If there is something that you haven't told me yet or haven't given me the full story, this will be a good time to do so. I extend you amnesty for other grievances notwithstanding lying. 4, you will contact all parties that you've engaged with in any way and explain that you were in a monogamous relationship, your husband knows, and that you fucked up. You will apologize for misleading anyone about your relationship status, and you will contact their partners and explain what happened. Number 5, you will get tested for STDs and STIs every month for the next 6 months, including blood panels. This information will be made available to me at my request. Number 6, you will seek and engage in cognitive behavioral therapy until you have been treated for your dysmorphia, eating disorder, and have healthily managed your sexual assaults. You and I will receive marriage counseling indefinitely or until we both feel that our problems have been resolved. We will both engage in communication coursework or reading. Number 7, rules for opening the relationship. Maybe too controlling? Everything that I asked her for, I also offer to reciprocate where applicable. The first bloodletting was a discovery of the infidelity, and the mortal strike was her denying me safety in the relationship through dismissal of my needs. Once it was clear that she wasn't trying to reconcile, I was ready to burn it to the ground. I threatened to contact her partners, contact her AP significant others, file professional misconduct complaints. One affair partner was her physician. Contact her research board about misconduct, and contact her direct bosses, people whose image is jeopardized by her actions. She freaked out and suddenly became extremely receptive to what I was asking for, begged me not to ruin her career, begged me not to tell anyone. I felt bad, apologized, and told her I wouldn't do that. By then, she had already gone to her bosses and conveyed some truth-trickled story to them. I obviously added a lot more pain to the situation by playing that card. This was almost a month ago. She filed for divorce the next day, threatened to file an order of protection so that I wouldn't contact people in her life, and then told me she couldn't forgive me for threatening to expose her like that. That's when I woke up. I had been drowning, undergoing hemorrhagic shock, and the hypothermia was creeping in. I had been desperately trying to get my wife on the shoreline to throw me a life preserver. My actions caused her to get her feet wet, and she couldn't handle it. I started to understand who she was. Weak and cowardly. Not exactly life partner material. A few weeks later, I had a realization. It's like she died. That's what the pain and emptiness and anger feels like. I found out later that she was still in contact with one of her partners. Another punch in the gut. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I applaud if you've made it this far. Our divorce is underway and will hopefully be resolved cleanly. For the time being, things here are quiet, empty, and lonely. My schoolwork has suffered, and I'm thinking about taking some time off to process everything. Thanks for listening. TLDR, people suck and hurt each other. I am very saddened about how this story went. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that OP is getting a divorce, but the fact that he wasn't the one who filed it and the fact that he tried to give her a task list about what to do in order to preserve the relationship. When you get to that point, when you have to say you need to do this, and this all the time, it no longer becomes a relationship. It becomes you becoming a dictator in their life and in their decisions. When it gets to that point, it's too late. You shouldn't have to get to that point. You should be able to fully trust your partner in everything that they do. Sure, you can ask them to do certain things in order to make you feel comfortable or make you feel more enjoyment in the relationship, or as a way for checks and balances that comes with the relationship. But to realize that she was cheating and then say, you need to give up everything, do all of these things for me, or I will divorce you. You should have just divorced her. And threatening to go the nuclear revenge route, but not following through, also makes you look kind of weak when she decides to file the divorce and then the order of protection. You were trying to force something to work that was broken beyond repair. I understand why, because love makes us do things that aren't always logical. But in this situation, if you were gonna pull out the gun, you should have let off a round. And I'm not saying that like literally pull on the gun. Let me just say that now, disclaimer. I'm saying metaphorically, if you're going to threaten to do something like this, you need to do it. Or don't say it. OP should have just left her behind. And shouldn't have given her a chance in the first place for reconciliation. But that's just my opinion. I'm just another man in this world. So take that as you will. But that is the end of this story. That is the end of this story so far. The conclusion is satisfying in some ways and not satisfying in others, as you can tell. But I am grateful that you guys have all stayed and listened to my reading of this story, saying this whole way. I do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you guys caring this much. If you guys can do me a favor, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe to this video, and watch another video of mine, it will help the algorithm recognize my channel more and will recommend me to other channels or to other people on YouTube, so that they can discover my channel and I can continue to grow as a content creator. I do hope that you all have a good day with your partners. I hope that you guys all have a fantastic relationship. I hope you guys are able to talk and communicate with your problems. I hope that you guys are not exposed to this type of pain. I hope that you guys are able to find a partner, have a successful relationship that lasts until the end of time. But that's enough babbling for now. As always, stay safe and have a great day.